I don't see nobody like me. You know what I mean? People say, oh, you said you was natty. I never said I was natty.
Out the cap.
You idiots, you want to be fitness enthusiasts, fitness specialists, YouTube bodybuilding specialists, supplement specialists. You know who I'm talking to.
This is crazy. Welcome to the fitness community. This community changes rapidly. You know, where we have these influencers that now see that the honesty is getting more views, or they have a moment of clarity to where they now want to start enlightening the people and being on this humble approach. Knowing there's not a lose-lose situation, but they don't really take full responsibility when they do it. So this is in response to Kali's muscles. Every fitness celebrity is lying. So every fitness celebrity is lying to you, including him, right? And so there was a comment I saw that said, especially you. Kali Muscle now, if you guys don't already know who he is, he has been a staple in the bodybuilding community, at least for one of the people that he says that wasn't claiming natural, but he always pretended to be natural, right? Like,
you know what I mean? People say, oh, you said you was natty. I never said I was natty.
When anyone ever tried to confront him about it, he never responded to it other than saying that there were trolls.
Trolling with the trolls.
It's funny too, because now everyone's coming out, a lot of people are coming out talking about steroids and what their view is. And I don't like how Kali Muscle is approaching this as in, oh, well, you should have known. You know, I never claimed it. I was just trolling the trolls. See, he's not really being honest, man. I would love it if he was being transparent, which he's not going to do. I was only doing it because I knew if I said I was unnatural at that time, y'all weren't going to mess with me. See, he wasn't as prolific as he says he was. He says no one's like him. He was just like everybody else, man. The first person I think that came out with the steroids was Boston Lloyd or Rich Piana, one of the two, I can't remember, but they were open about it. And that kind of set the trend open, because back then everyone was there. We had Honda Champion, Chris Jones, Mark Lobliner, we had the Hodge twins, a lot of other people too that have been a staple in the bodybuilding community, where people were wondering if they were natural or not. I don't even think Simeon Panda's like YouTube videos was out there, just his photo for his sponsorships, right? Like, he wasn't even out there like that. And everyone was wondering, can you get that natural? People were asking on Google, asking the questions coming up, and you would see it, but it was a common question, but no one would ever address it. And his approach now that I hear him say is in that video of, oh, well, you know, if it's apparent, it's evident, it should have been obvious. Well, if it was, you should have been open. Or were you worried about risking your sponsorship, risking everything else? You don't want kids to do the same things you're doing, yet and still you're not really warning them on how to not do it. So you're just as guilty, right? And what I mean by that is, you're not telling them not to do steroids. You're not telling them to do them. So like, it doesn't matter. I mean, if it looks like it, a person would be more inclined to do it anyway, because they don't know the adverse effects. The same worries that you had, they don't know, right? They don't know anything. They're going to follow suit to get the look that you have. And so selling all those programs, that's the main thing people were doing. You can get like me if you take this supplement, or you can get like me if you work out like this. And then they sell you cookie cutter programs, never tell you what they actually do. Back then, it was even to a point where no one would even show the maxes, right? You know, people would be bench pressing, and they would never show you the maxes. Never, ever, ever. It was like a forbidden thing. I remember when Mike Chang's six-pack shortcuts was a thing, and he had them ads up that was like, this guy weighs 180 and benches 405. You know, no one wanted to show their maxes. No one was transparent at all. You know, this is where people like Chris Jones shined. People like the Hodge twins shined. And these people, some of these were completely natural. And it's crazy how no one wanted to be transparent, because they were risking the sponsorships. So I don't like how Kali Muscle, you know, if you see this, bro, like I like some of what you do, but I'm gonna be honest, you're not being honest, bro. You're not being honest. You're coming at Mark Lobliner, right? And I really feel like you already have all the success you had. You've seen people like Larry Wills, people like Boston Lloyd have massive success coming out with steroids. And I think, you know, I don't know what your videos are looking like now, but it's almost like this is a perfect time for me to just come out. I'm already losing my physique anyway, so let me just tell people what I was doing. You know, you were trying to find your way up too, so like that doesn't make any sense, right? You're just saying now like, oh, well, you know, hey, I got a legacy to live. Your legacy is based off of roids and everything that you didn't admit to, and that was what sold, right? That's what got you to commercials. So that doesn't say anything. You say that, you know, IFBB in your last video, you're talking about it needs medical. look, man, they're not going to endorse steroids. They're not going to endorse none of that. And it'd be nice to have medical, but at the end of the day, bodybuilding is supposed to be a natural, fun fitness thing. And it become a point where I'm going to make another video where is bodybuilding even healthy anymore? Right? It becomes a point where we're not even talking about that dysmorphia or whatever that is, where people start feeling, or bigorexia, people start feeling that they're not good and looking good in their body. The thing is that it gets so unhealthy that no one talks about because of the amount of drugs people pump in to try to make this IFBB pro list where people don't even get paid like that. And you want to offer medical? This is not a job, you know? And so it's nice a nice gesture to have, you know, but if you want to do something, I wouldn't blame those guys. You want to help out? Offer your own medical. Maybe sponsor 10 people and that are doing shows and help them out. You know, but the thing is that I don't think the reason why IFBB ain't gonna sponsor that is because steroids is illegal. They're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, we knew you was on steroids all along, so we're gonna help you out. Like, it's not gonna happen, man. And so, you know, it's crazy, man. I just wish you would be a little bit more transparent with this, because it's almost like you're not taking full credibility with anything you just said in that video. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm coming out. It's cool that you're coming out with this now. You had a heart attack. God bless you. I pray for you, because ain't nobody should go away, especially when you have kids. You know, I'm with that. But the thing is you took it out of control too, and you're now paying the consequences for your mistakes, which you already are in full admittance of, right? And I think it was already hard to swallow as you go through it. That's usually what everyone goes through. People who have an alcoholism problem and they realize the cancer that they got is from the alcoholism, right? And so it's a humbling experience. And I think you're a lot more humble than ever, but again, you're still not taking full responsibility, being fully transparent here, which it's up to you if you want to be or not. But it's for me to tell the people that a lot of these fitness influencers are lying. Kali, you're lying too. You're not telling the full truth, bro. You know, you're not saying that you were afraid of the sponsorship deals. Back then, you were just like everybody else on how you claim you were. No one's like you. Larry Wills, Boston Lloyd, Rich Piana were the peers that came out that they could have kept a secret to themselves, but they didn't. You know, especially Larry Wills. Larry Wills didn't have to do that, but he came and said, yeah, I take it. You know, this is what I do, you know, because if not, you would have a lot of guys thinking they can get like that. And it's about who is natural, right? And the health behind it. Are you actually healthy? Or are you just a dying carcass like a mummy? You know, you look good on the outside, but you're really dead in the inside. And so it's a shame, man, because that's what I'm advocating on my channel, right? There are people like what you say that you represent. I represent that. I represent health. You know, this is just like how you have self-promotion for your supplements. It's self-promotion for all the other channels like myself that want to provide just a healthier lifestyle of letting people look the best way they can, living their best life, and not really responding and talking like, oh, I'm responding to the haters. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to change things. We got to put some love where the hate's at. I'm not calling you to be a hero, but I'm just calling you to be transparent. That's it. You know, I'm taking that road of, you know, you're talking about you have haters and stuff like that, but the haters were also calling you unnatural, bro. You know, a lot of those people were there, and those were your haters that you were talking about, and you knew that was a selling point, so you went with that. So, like I said, you know, you're talking about like they don't have to. These IFBB guys shouldn't have to pay. I mean, it's a business, bro. I mean, this is the thing. You're competing in their federation, so they can do whatever they want. This is, you know, is at the certain point where these people's physiques are nuts, and it's great to see. But at the same time, I don't like seeing people, you know, in their 40s dying. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like just like how you got into the game young, you weren't there. I don't know if you were thinking about kids or not. I doubt it, because now when you were thinking about kids is when you saw it was a huge issue. Then the heart attack came. See, now this is why I never caught on steroids. I remember when my coach was like, it was somebody, I forgot his name. It was, I think, not Devin Physique, but it was somebody. He said, oh, you look just like this guy. I made it to the national stage. But when I got to nationals, oh, everyone was talking about steroids in the back room. And I came in 11th place out of 22nd, or 24. And the funniest thing was that I was scared of the consequences. I talked to my coach at the time about it, and he was like, yeah, you know, I feel like if you do this, you can go pro next year, which probably so. There was two people that looked just like me, and there's politics involved, but they looked just like me that was like, yo, if you keep competing, you can do it. And I'm like, but is it really worth it though? Because you can't avoid those consequences at all. So, you know, I just want full transparency, guys. Look, these fitness influencers be lying to you because of the sponsorships. They lie to you about a lot of things to make sure they can keep money in their pocket. So don't let them sell you wolf tickets, man. Always question it. And now you hear from Kylie, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. About 10 years ago, it wasn't that same tune. People were wondering if he was natural or not, and he never said it. I remember Chris Jones made a video about it, and they asked him a QA and said, "Are you natural?" He just kind of paused. He didn't say anything. He didn't say no or yes because he didn't want to out his boy, right? But it was just to the point of, it was like, he's like, he knew he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people ask these questions because it wasn't fully out there. You weren't being honest, bro. And so I think you would have got a lot more respect in the long run if you was honest. But then again, like I said, you in LA, you was making Geico commercials and doing that stuff, so maybe, I don't know. You know, and this tough thug thing, man, I don't know. Like, you want people to be different, stop doing that. You're saying like you okay with going viral, but you're like, ain't nobody like you. You want to be somebody people want to look up to. But you're saying stuff like you're okay with, you know, going viral. I don't know what that means, whether that's catching a body or knocking a dude out, but like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't even, you talking about go viral, go box him. Go box him. Challenge him to a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Like, versus talking about blow your head off. Like, this, it's whack, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you, it just astonishes me on how some people can say some things and then really mean something different, you know. like they say the same thing, but it's a contradiction, bro. So anyways, man, this is Jay Bruce, Own Your Muffin Life, and we're gonna be breaking this down because that video bothered me, man. So I'll catch y'all later. I'm about to go hit this gym before it rains.